Welcome to the Daily 30, a daily 30-minute live show covering world news, politics, entrepreneurship and business, personal development, social media, and digital marketing. My name is Ivan Temelkov, chief here at Razor Sharp Digital, the world's #1 human marketing agency where we help brands and entrepreneurs forge their digital footprint using multi-channel marketing, emotional engagement, and community cultivation. You can watch live every Tuesday through Thursday at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, airing on Facebook, LinkedIn Live, YouTube, Periscope, Twitter, and Twitch. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are live on my Facebook profile, my Facebook group, the Human Marketing Alliance, my Facebook business page, Ivan Temelkov, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitter, and of course, Twitch, which is a fairly new platform, actually, that I started to use recently. And I'm really digging it, to be honest with you. I think Twitch is where it's at. If you haven't signed up on Twitch, you can follow me over there. Just search for Ivan Temelkov, and I'm fresh to the game over there. So let's not do any bashing about being a novice there. If you're a pro, if you're an expert at that. I wanted to do something different with, more of a 100% shift to live and video streaming, which, if you've been following me for a little while. So yesterday, I made an announcement that my podcast of 6 years, The Roz Project, is now moving to yesterday was Monday. We are shifting to live video. It will still be available in audio on all major podcasting platforms. And I also introduced my co-host, Courtney Turner. Definitely go and check out that episode. It's available on all my socials. From yesterday, the amazing Courtney Turner, who will be back on Friday. You can find out more information about the Roz Project at therozproject.com. And actually, I am going to throw up the link for you guys on here. You can go and check it out, therozproject.com. Also, make sure you check it out. But not to deviate away from this show, here's what we've got in store for you guys today. I want to talk about the Biden versus Trump status quo. Amazon hiring 100,000 plus seasonal employees, and is our social media networks amplifiers for idiots. According to former Google CEO Eric Schmidt, who has spent years trying to justify YouTube. We'll talk about Zoom's new end-to-end encryption and the 5 fundamental shifts that are shaping search and digital marketing today. And before we kick things off, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitter, Twitch, everywhere, all over the world. LinkedIn Live also. I almost forgot to mention LinkedIn Live. So we'll go ahead and get things started here. And I wanted to talk about, a few things before we get things started here. So, I'm led to believe that everything moving forward is shifting to live and video, honestly. And this is, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this show. This is, something very, very new, something that, I haven't done, something that, I actually have wanted to do, to be quite honest with you, because the one thing that I found out, to be quite honest with you guys, is just that, the video editing portion, which I absolutely love, for the podcast specifically, and just any video that I generally do, is very time consuming. Which, by the way, if you are a skilled video editor and or your video editing is your forte, I definitely want to chat with you. Shoot me a message. Would love to have a conversation with you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the first topic that I want to share today. So here we go. So the first topic of today that I want to talk about today is the Trump versus Biden presidential contest. So with less than a month until Election Day, Joe Biden maintains his lead over Donald Trump in the presidential race. As of today, if Americans were to vote, 52% of Americans, registered voters, I should say, not all Americans, registered voters, would vote in the election for Biden, and 42% would vote for Trump. And so, and before I actually go any further on this, I actually wanted to share something else with you guys in terms of the show that I nearly forgot, and that is the Daily 30 is a 30-minute live show. Okay, it's a 30-minute live show where we'll be talking about world news, politics, entrepreneurship and business, personal development, social media, and digital marketing. So we kick things off promptly at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I think those time zones are correct. Please don't give me an ultimatum if they're not. So talking about the first topic on the agenda for today, I want to talk about is the Biden versus Trump presidential contest. And, with that being said, this is an interesting time, ladies and gentlemen. And the reason I'm talking about this, first of all, I'm definitely not heavy on politics by any means. In fact, when I was thinking about coming up with sort of the format of the show, I was a little hesitant towards politics simply because it's such a gray area. And even yesterday on the Ross Project, which, by the way, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so. We talked about difference of opinion, and so it's interesting to see that if all registered voters were to vote today, that 52% of voters would vote for Joe Biden, and 42% would vote for Donald Trump. So that's 94%. So 6% are undecided. And I think that's a pretty big gap, to be honest with you. So, but nonetheless, it goes to show that I think registered voters are confident in who they're going to vote for. But here's the thing, I think with the upcoming election, of course, it seems like every time there is an election, there's just so much friction that ends up being developed. And I will say this, the biggest thing that I admire the most in people personally is people who stand by what they believe in. So, if you think that, Donald Trump is the most viable candidate, go out and vote for him. If you think Joe Biden is the most viable candidate, then absolutely go out and vote for him. That's the beauty about, freedom of speech and the ability to vote in the United States and democracy also. And I think you should totally exercise that right. If you believe that one of the candidates that are currently running for the presidency seat, represents your morals and values, and you firmly believe that they're going to be the change maker, of tomorrow, then absolutely go out and vote for them. Go out and vote for them. This is something that, like I said, is extremely important. It's something that we have a right, as Americans also, and you should absolutely vote. Okay. The next thing that I want to talk about here is Amazon will be hiring over 100,000 seasonal employees. Okay. So let's see, and I actually wanted to bring that up over here. Here we go. There we go. So Amazon will be hiring over 100,000 seasonal employees during the 2020 when it comes to benefits, you don't have to wait 90 days or 30 days or whatever, in a typical traditional work environment to get benefits. You get insurance from the first day of employment, starting at $15 an hour. So, if you ask me, if you have to pick between, okay, I don't have a job, I need a job, or McDonald's slash fast food, which is $15 per hour, or is approaching a $15 per hour minimum wage pay for some states, or go work for Amazon, which is a great company. I don't know about you guys, but if the 9 to 5 is your forte, then it sounds like Amazon might be a good fit for you here. This is something that I want to bring to your guys' attention here. If we're living in a very uncertain times right now, and a lot of people are wondering about, with this COVID situation, how everything is going to change the dynamics of the economy, how it's going to change your life, right? And so it's great to see that a company like Amazon, has created over 100,000 jobs, for the 2020 holiday season. So, if you're struggling, here's a job for you. You don't need to have any experience. I hear the ad on the radio literally all the time. And yes, I do still listen to traditional FM radio only when I'm in my car. And that's because my car is an older vehicle. If you ask me, I'm waiting to upgrade. But that's besides the point here. 100,000 jobs, and Amazon will continue to grow. I think it's in part because of the convenience factor. A lot of people are ordering more stuff on Amazon for a lot of reasons. For one is because of COVID, because of proximity reasons, also because of the cost factor, and then also because of the convenience factor. I mean, you could be sitting on your phone, ordering toilet paper or God knows what, or diapers, on your couch. Would you rather go to a store and buy those things? Sure, experience is an important factor. Mind you that I'm a fan of experience, but at the same time, I think a lot more Americans and just people around the world are choosing convenience at this point. So Amazon, over 100,000 jobs that are going to be created for the 2020 holiday season. And that was item number 2 that we're talking about. Item number 1 was the Biden versus Trump status quo. Number 2 for today on the Daily 30 was Amazon to hire 100,000 seasonal employees. And we are live all over the web. We're on Facebook, LinkedIn Live, YouTube, Periscope, and our Twitter. And dun, 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 we are on Twitch also. So look me up on Twitch. I'm a novice on Twitch. If you're a gamer, please don't give me any shit because I'm still trying to get my Twitch game on point, guys. So let's talk about, the third item here on the agenda. You guys are going to get a kick out of this. Are social media networks amplifiers for idiots, according to former Google CEO Eric Schmidt, who spent years justifying YouTube? Okay, first of all, I am a little bit a little bit frustrated, at the fact that a former Google CEO would actually make this kind of a statement. And, this just really goes to show, honestly, of, what's currently happening. So Eric Schmidt, who bought YouTube for a premium, according to The Verge, thinks that social media networks are amplifiers for it. Are you an idiot? I don't know about guys, but I'm not an idiot. In fact, I think social media is probably one of the best things to happen to humanity. But at the end of the day, applications and results vary based on usage. But let's talk about this, article here for just a second, because I think you guys are gonna get a kick out of this one. To be quite honest. Here we go. Eric Schmidt, who bought YouTube for a premium, thinks social networks are amplifiers for idiots. The Verge used to have a fine tradition in cataloging all of the times when Eric Schmidt stuck his foot in his mouth. Well, yeah, go figure. The fuller quote: "The context of social networks serving as amplifiers for idiots and crazy people is not what we attended." And that's what Eric Schmidt apparently told Bloomberg. So let me talk about something here for just a second, okay? And just to allude to this article here, also, that we're talking about social media for idiots. I don't know about you guys, but social media is great for cultivating your community. And I think YouTube has allowed a lot of people who otherwise probably didn't have jobs, to become creators, to be self-made entrepreneurs, self-made millionaires even. I mean, there's a lot of people out there that literally make their living on YouTube. So to say that social media, is for idiots, I think is degrading to all social media, to people as a whole, to be honest with you. And so this really kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I saw this today and I was like, really, Eric Schmidt? Well, maybe that's why you're no longer a CEO of Google, Eric Schmidt. And that was the second item that I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry, the third item I wanted to talk about today. And let's talk about the fourth item on the plate here. And that is Zoom's end-to-end encryption is here. Okay, so in this COVID world, the way we communicate is basically through Zoom. I don't know about you guys, but with my business, Razor Sharp Digital, a lot of the digital stuff, that we do is a lot of the meetings really that we conduct happen through Zoom. In fact, the Roz Project interviews, happen through Zoom. Now, there's been a concern with Zoom for a while where, a lot of people have questioned privacy, questioned security when it comes to Zoom, simply because Zoom has servers in China. Well, Zoom's end-to-end encryption, according to The Verge, has arrived, allowing both free and paid users to secure their meetings so that only participants, not Zoom or anyone else, can access their content. The Zoom says E2EE, okay, there's another fancy technology term, as if we needed more technological jargon, is supported across Mac, PC, iOS, and Android apps, as well as Zoom Rooms, but it's web client or third-party clients that use the Zoom SDK. So, okay, this is I don't know about you guys, but I think this is a game changer, to be honest with you. If you've questioned the privacy behind Zoom, and I know a lot of people have, simply because they use, I still think they use currently, don't quote me on this, but using offshore technology like servers, to bounce information. A lot of people, have been very questionable about the privacy factor and data sharing also. So, this I think gives a lot of confidence to people in allowing them to know that, hey, I can secure my meetings now by being encrypted. Now, I don't know what the encryption level is. Honestly, I would think it's fairly high, but I think, to me personally, it gives me some sense of comfort. and knowing that I can encrypt future recordings, future meetings conducted via Zoom. And especially if you're someone who's worried about your privacy on Zoom, simply because Zoom is really the virtual platform that most people use. Even people that want to connect with family, communicate with family, because of the COVID world that we live in. This is definitely a step forward, I think. So that was the fourth thing that I wanted to talk about on the list. And the fifth thing that I wanted to talk about here, to make it more business focused, also business centric, because after all, we do talk about some digital marketing on this show, and that's something that I wanted to cover, and that is the 5 fundamental shifts that are shaping search and digital at the moment. So let's go ahead and scan through these. And this is through Search Engine Journal, ladies and gentlemen. This is probably one of my favorite platforms to get news on search and digital. And here are the 5 essentials. So the traditional customer journey is changing, and many industry sectors of the economy. So, from a B2B standpoint, companies like Salesforce and Adobe and IBM are really struggling, in identifying, the customer journey. The customer journey has really changed. So one thing that, we're going to see a closer, or companies should really be paying closer attention to, is the shift in the actual customer journey, especially, in this COVID world. As we enter Q4 and holiday shopping season, search can help reveal these radical changes in real time. So if you haven't invested into search, SEO, search marketing, search engine marketing, definitely, consider that for your business, especially going into the 2020 holiday season. Narrowcast marketing fails in times of dynamic change. Marketers that are looking at a narrow range of metrics are failing to capture important business intelligence. So that's, a second fundamental here, to watch out. And the pro tip is, ingest as much data as you and your team can, use it better, and utilize artificial intelligence where you can. So, I don't know about you guys, but, if you haven't considered artificial intelligence, it's going to be something that, is going to be essential moving forward, something that a lot of companies have already embraced. So if you haven't done that, for your business, definitely consider doing that. And then the other pro tip on that is, invest more time to gain a better understanding of market data and not just user data. So market data and user data have to be utilized in a happy medium to be able to determine what those shifting trends and patterns are in the marketplace. Let's see. The third is, what's past is not prologue. There's been a significant shift away from over-reliance on historical trends during COVID. There's a greater and more critical role today for real-time data in the search and content space. So where I'm going with this is, real-time data is key. You need to be studying real-time data, whether you're doing social media marketing or SEO or any digital channel, really, for that matter, because that's really where the best information comes from. So, and that's, I think, actually one of the pro tips, and what they talk about here is, going forward, marketers need to respond more quickly to thrive in this kind of market. I'm a huge proponent for, being real time. Personally, I have understood the importance, and this is something that, I have involved inside of Razor Sharp Digital, is to be more of a real-time centric brand. What I mean by that is if you get a Facebook message, you should probably respond fairly quickly. If you're getting a tweet, the lifespan of a tweet is about 2.5 minutes. So you should probably be fairly responsive, because you might be losing out on some opportunities. And I know most companies are like, how am I missing out on opportunities? Well, opportunities start with conversations. In fact, I will tell you this. One of the reasons why Razor Sharp Digital has been able to scale to over 6 figures in revenue in such a short period of time is because of the real-time interaction, is because of the community cultivation on social media and other digital channels. It's just a matter of responding to a comment or a DM, or even a comment on a post that someone posts. That's what this talks about. Is going forward, marketers need to move more quickly to thrive in this kind of real-time market. The fourth one is big trends can hide important things. So valuable insights, particularly in markets that have been hit hard by COVID-19, are found at a very granular level. So what's the pro tip here? So marketers need to go both broad and deep, at the same time. What does that mean? Well, broad, you've got a 30,000 foot view of who you're targeting, who your target audience is, who your buyer persona is, right? But then you need to go in deep, like in the trenches. Like that's what I was talking about, in the last 4 essential element here is going deep, meaning that like being in the trenches, like, being in the DMs and responding to tweets and Facebook posts and Instagram posts and like all that stuff. That's what your brand needs to be doing, whether it's from a B2C or a B2B standpoint. And then the fifth one here that I wanted to share with you guys is marketers need to seize Q4 opportunity and try new approaches to understand user intent. So there's 2 words here, new approaches, that I've highlighted. I've highlighted most of the sentence actually. New approaches. You need to be constantly embracing new approaches, experimentation, exploration, A/B testing constantly, because the only way you're going to know is if you keep trying more. So SEO obviously is great for intent. If you're not embracing search engine optimization, you need to be considering that strongly for your brand, for your company, simply because that is where intent is with potential buyers, potential customers. And by the way, this was the last topic that I wanted to talk about, the 5 fundamental shifts shaping search and digital marketing. So if you are just tuning in, this was the first episode of the Daily 30, which is a daily live 30-minute show covering world news, politics, entrepreneurship, and business, personal development, social media, and digital marketing. Of course, hosted by myself truly, Ivan Temelkov, Chief Human Marketer at Razor Sharp Digital, the world's #1 human marketing agency, where we help brands and entrepreneurs forge their digital footprint using multi-channel marketing, emotional engagement, and community cultivation. And you can watch live Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday every week, starting at 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, airing on Facebook, LinkedIn Live, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitter, and of course, Twitch. And I think that'll do it for today. Excited about this first episode. Thank you to everyone who took time to tune in. I hope that you got some value out of this. And I will see you tomorrow at the same time, at the same place. Take care. Have an amazing day. I'll talk to you later.